Hello once again and welcome to Talking Music, where every song has a story. My name's Paul, and on this channel we like to get behind the music. We like to get to the story of a well-known song, and today's featured song is this one from Elton John and KIKI and Don't Go Breaking My Heart. Now, a lot of fuss was made about this song at the time because it was Elton John's very first number one hit single in the UK. He'd had number ones in the States, but not in the UK. And he was by now, of course, a major international star. He was selling out stadiums right across the world and selling millions and millions of albums. And you got the impression even back then in 1976 that he was around to stay for a while because his fan base crossed all ages. The song itself was written by Carte Blanche and Anne Orson, both fictitious names because really the song was the usual Elton John and Bernie Taupin collaboration. They were the real writers. Bernie provided the lyrics, then Elton working out the melody to the song. Both were great Motown fans and they'd enjoyed the Marvin Gaye duets with the likes of Tammy Terrell and Kim Weston, and they wanted to replicate something of that ilk with Don't Go Breaking My Heart. They originally intended to record the song with the 60s icon Dusty Springfield, and they made the approach, but Dusty was unwell and was going to be out of action for a number of weeks, months even, so regretfully they had to withdraw their offer. But now Elton's attentions were drawn to a singer on his own record label, the Rocket Record Company, inspired by one of his earliest hit singles, Rocket Man. And it was the Bradford-born KIKI, who had had a handful of hits through 74 and 75, that his attentions were focused on. She, like Elton and Bernie, was a Motown fan. Indeed, she had recorded on Motown in the 1960s, and she had an existing professional relationship with Elton John and Bernie Taupin. And the more Elton thought about her, the more he thought it was a good fit for the song. Well, as you could quite imagine, Elton was a pretty busy guy during these days. So he put down a guide vocal for the song on a cassette whilst he was in Toronto, in Canada, and sent it to England for KIKI to listen to and to learn. He sang both of the duet voices and simulated a falsetto voice for the parts KIKI was to sing.
Well, actually, I've got to confess that he did his vocal in America. There's a funny story there, but what he did was he demoed his vocal, and then he demoed mine in a high voice. So that was to tell me which lines I had, and then then I recorded it. But I thought, oh, this is nice. This is, you never know in life, do you? And they say commitment without attachment. I was committed to doing a good job, but I wasn't attached to it being a hit. So of course it became huge.
But before he did this, the producer, Gus Dudgeon, remembers Elton singing nearly all of the song and giving KIKI only something like 4 lines. He said to Elton, "Is this supposed to be a duet or a guest appearance?" Elton replied, "A duet." Gus said, "Then you must give her half of the song." KIKI, when she received the cassette, was a little bit confused, but then presumed the higher pitch vocals by Elton were the ones she was supposed to sing. He did a fairly good job on it too. The video for the song was quite advanced for the time. It was certainly more than just a promotional video. We had the 2 main protagonists actually singing the song in front of our eyes. And remember, in 1976, videos were still in an embryonic stage. Bohemian Rhapsody the year before had got record companies thinking hard about how videos could market the song. Pretending to be in a recording studio, Elton and KIKI step up to the mic and perform the song. Elton was wearing a ridiculous suit, but remember, this was the 1970s, when in terms of fashion, just about anything ridiculous went. The video looks like it was recorded all in one take as well, and KIKI looks at first a little intimidated, but soon warms up. Elton, of course, hits the ground running and is fairly mucking around throughout the whole song. This was a big deal for KIKI. She'd had a limited amount of success, And this was to be the biggest thing she was ever to be involved with. No wonder she looked a little stage-struck at the start, or maybe it was just acting, who knows? Well, I suppose Kiki Dee knows. The song was a massive hit, and for many in the UK and America, it was the summer hit of 1976. It was released at the same time both in the States and the UK, and this is how it performed in the two big markets. As you can see, in the UK, 24th of July 1976, that's when it hit the top spot, entered the charts at number 49, then jumped up to number 9, then the following week number 2, and then it pounced and took over the number 1 spot from July 24th to September the 4th. That was 6 weeks throughout the summer of 1976. Ended up being the second bestseller of the year behind Save Your Kisses for Me, Brotherhood of Man. And it has sold just over 1 million in the UK. This number was verified in June of 2013, some 37 years after release. But official sales for 1976 was around the 800,000 mark for ELTON and KIKI and Don't Go Breaking My Heart. And take a look at Dr. Hook there, a little bit more. They moved up to number 2 that week. They had a number of hits in the UK through the 1970s. Most of them hit the top 5. A number of them peaked at number 2. They never had a number 1 song. This is as close as they got. 4 weeks at number 2 for a little bit more with Dr. Hook. Couldn't get past the Elton John and Kiki Dee roadblock. In the States, again, similar success. It took over the number 1 spot 7th of August 1976, took 6 weeks to get there, stayed 4 weeks at the top stateside, and ended up again being the second bestseller of the year, 1976, in the US. This time behind Wings and Silly Love Songs. Sold 1.8 million copies in the United States in 1976. It was number 1 in a number of other countries too, including France, Italy, Australia and Canada. The song also went on to win the 1976 Ivor Novello Award for Best Song Musically and Lyrically. Those of us who remember this song will do so fondly. It conjures up memories of a long, hot summer when you'd turn the radio on and inevitably it would be playing. It seemed to be everywhere. It made a star out of Kiki Dee and gave Elton John his first UK number 1 hit single. It would be some 14 years before his next number 1 in the UK, Sacrifice. Don't Go Breaking My Heart is one of those songs that seems to bring the sunshine with it. It's got sunshine stamped all over it. Quite simply, it's a song almost impossible to dislike. Don't Go Breaking My Heart, Elton John and Kiki Dee. And that's it for another Talking Music video. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. Do subscribe to the channel because we've got many more videos for you to enjoy. Some big songs that were worldwide hits. All you need to do is subscribe to Talking Music, where every song has a story. And then, hopefully, I'll catch you in another video. So, till then, look after yourselves. Bye-bye.